That's what we got. You can move over. I want you in the center market on the side. All right, so we're
Okay,
live. We're live. Thank you so much. Hi, gang. I have Lee Garlington here. I've been super excited, super excited. I know Lee for over a year now, and I see her every Monday, but my heart is still pounding because I'm a huge fan. And, so I'm a little nervous, but I'll calm down.
Why are you a huge fan?
I'm a huge fan because I remembered you from, I remembered her face. And then I looked you up. I was like, well, no wonder why I knew who you were, because I met you through Kristen Glover, who brought me to the group a year ago.
Oh, okay.
About 13 months ago. And Lee has a group called Wall.
The Writers and Actors Lab, we've been together since 1987, although I'm the only person who's been there since 1987.
Yeah. But I went and you were showcasing one of your scripts and you directed me in your script. And you were such an amazing director, like right off the bat. I was an instant fan because, I'm a director wannabe. And I was like, wow, this woman is like, not only your credits are like through the roof, but, you have 300 film credits and TV credits.
Mm-hmm.
But you also, yes, you do. I mean, my goodness, how was it to work with Robert Redford?
I loved Rob. It's funny, when I worked with him as an actor, I've always been a big fan of him as a director, and politically, I thought he was fine as an actor, but I didn't really think that much about it. It was doing Phil Alden Robinson, who wrote and directed Field of Dreams and The Woo Woo Kid and Sum of All Fears and Sneakers and The Angriest Man in Brooklyn, and he's called me his good luck charm, so I've gotten to be in all his films. He puts me in all his films that have white people.
With white people, Robin Williams. And Julia was the one that wanted to ask about how is it to work with Robin Williams.
But anyway, so working with Robert, I was completely unprepared for where is the camera? Where is the actual?
The light. Green light.
The green light. That's okay.
That's the green light.
Hi.
This is the actual camera, the whole thing. This is what they'll say.
Okay, but I just like if I'm making eye contact with somebody.
Turn your phone on, Julia,
like
and show
Tom Stiers does when he's doing the debates. He looks right at you. But anyway, so I was unprepared for how utterly and completely charming he was. I mean, he was just, there was one day I was just back in the honey wagon days, and I'm sitting there in my little honey wagons right before Christmas.
What's shooting. Honey wagon? What are you talking about, honey wagon? No, honey wagon days. What's honey wagon?
Oh, rather than having a trailer, you're in a little tiny stall.
Oh,
basically, okay. This was my stall days. And he walked by my stall, and then he kept going. He turned around, he came back, and he leaned against the door, and he goes, "How's your life?" And he wasn't just saying it. He was actually asking how my life was. And we stood there with me talking at him for like 15 minutes. I kept saying, "Do you want to come in and sit down?" I was like, "Okay." He wants to go in a honey wagon. And then there was one time in the film where the camera was on me over Robert's shoulder. He kept saying, "Call me Bob." And I'd be like, "No, you're Robert Redford. I will call you Robert Redford." But he kept saying, "Okay, Bob, to your right a little bit more, a little bit more." And he kept saying that, and I knew that he meant left. So I kind of took him by the shoulders and went like that. And Phil, the director, goes, "Thank you, Lee." And Robert Redford looks at me and goes, "How am I doing?" And I just look like me. Yeah. Go. Yeah.
Wow.
So he was great.
Yeah.
I mean, but Morgan Freeman is my boyfriend. Wow. That's the one. I called my husband when I was shooting with him we were shooting in Montreal, and I went up there 3 different times, was drop and pick up, and I called my husband the second time, and I said, "Howard, if Morgan Freeman knocks at my door at 2 a.m. and he has to have me," my husband goes, "I understand." My husband's very cool.
Yeah.
He wouldn't understand at all.
He wouldn't understand, would he? No way. No way. I worked as a cater waiter. I saw Morgan Freeman. I was passed over at the table for the awards, Denzel Live Awards. But anyway,
I just worked with Denzel Washington too.
Wow.
That was fun.
I mean, yes, just like in the past couple of months. What was that? How was that like to see that?
It was great. It was one
Wow.
day, small part. My character's name was Landlady, in a sort of what would you call it? Not a psychodrama, but a kind of a cop drama, but a little more poignant. And it was just me and Denzel Washington for 6 hours.
Wow.
It was just the two of us. So that
Wow.
was really nice. I really liked working with him.
Wow. Now, let me ask you something. How much of the film, how long in a day's work, you shot for 6 hours, how much film time is that? For the people that don't work in the film, if if you'd hang out for 6 hours or 12 hours,
Well, that depends. Back
Yeah.
in the day when I would work on Phil's movies and we'd go up to, I'd be shooting in Montreal or Iowa or, Vancouver, wherever we were. And I'd get there and I'd look at the call sheet and go, wow, 1.5 pages. That's all we're shooting today. What are we doing for 12 hours? And the answer would be lighting. Really nice lighting. But the average, if you're working on a television an hour show, or anyway, depends on the budget, but anywhere from 6 to 8 to sometimes 10 pages in a day.
Wow.
So it depends. If you're doing a soap opera, you're shooting, 55 pages in a day.
What soap operas were you on?
No.
No, I didn't see any credits. I'm like,
I did one day somebody asked me, and I said, sure, let's see what that's like.
Yeah, because your
Why
characters
not?
are so vast.
Hmm?
I mean, your characters are vast. I mean, you play like from the landlady to the waitress to the star to the
bad guy
to the bad guy to the
cop,
transgender
to
to
the
the
judge.
lesbian to the.
It's been fun.
It's amazing. It's
Yeah.
amazing. I was so impressed when I said, wow, no wonder why you have such, your career, the longevity that you have with, because you could just play anything. And then also the plays that you're in too. I tried to find out the list of the, theatrical things that you did in plays. And I'm like, you must have done, like dozens and dozens.
No.
When did you start doing
25 plays? But one play
Wow.
ran for 22 months.
Wow.
What was another play ran for 3 years. So it cuts down the
3
amount.
years?
But only
Wow.
on Saturday nights.
Yeah, but still, every Saturday night for 3 years.
Pop Mom. Yeah.
Pop Mom.
Kind of a cult hit here in LA. Justin Tanner played.
Oh, wow. You're doing Bad Habits right now. You're playing none.
I am.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Yeah. And I haven't got to see that one, but I saw your other two.
Yes, you did.
I want to see this one
Good
too.
girl.
I know you were like, I didn't want you to like.
It's sold out. It's
Yeah.
already sold out.
And I understand why. Death of a Salesman, you were like amazing. I was
Thank
like,
you.
wow. And you were like 6 inches away from me. And you played this character that I was just like, I was like.
It took all my 10,000 hours to play. If you go with the Malcolm Gladwell, it takes 10,000 hours to master a craft. It took all my 10,000 hours to do Linda Lohman.
Wow. How long did you rehearse? Did you guys rehearse for that play before you?
At the Ruskin Theater, it's 6 weeks, maybe.
Oh, wow. For all that dialogue
Yeah.
too. Woo!
And Rob Morrow was my Willie, and we had an amazing cast.
Northern Exposure was and when I was 20, that was my crush. I was like, honey, if he comes, I love that show, Northern Exposure. I mean, he was.
I'll let his wife know.
I know. Well, hey, it's a whole different ball game now too, but you were just like incredible. But yeah. We looked at your credits. I watched Will and Grace. You were hysterical.
Thank
You played. I mean, you were so funny. Then I've been watching and researching you for the last couple of days. Sneakers. I watched Sneakers with
Wow.
the accent. Oh my God, you were great in the scene with the accent. You said you couldn't do accents. I thought.
Well, one thing here's my secret about accents. It doesn't matter if you're spot on as long as you do it consistently. So I actually had a Romanian person, because I was supposed to be from Romania.
Yeah.
She read everything into a tape recorder for me.
Wow.
And I worked my butt off on it, but there were certain things I didn't get. But as long as you do the certain things you didn't get the same way, you're good. I did the same thing with Nip Tuck. I had.
Oh my God, one of my favorite shows is Shaken.
I had to play this character talk like this.
What did you want? Were you one of the people that had surgery?
Yes.
What did you do? Kevin checked in. Kevin the gardener.
Hi, Kevin. It was leeches. They had leeches all over me. So I forget, it was something, they killed me.
Yeah, you died in that
Yeah, I
episode?
died. There were real leeches, there were plastic leeches, there were electronically moving leeches. It was a leech thing.
Wow. I mean, I would.
And my accent was not that good, but the character had to be really big. So I was just really bold with it. And I did it consistently enough that it worked.
Wow.
And that's all you need to do. If you ain't Meryl Streep.
Well, you are Meryl Streep. And you know what?
Aww,
I really,
bless you.
I'm not sucking up. I really think you're Meryl Streep, but there's only one Meryl Streep. There's only enough room. That's the
It's true.
problem.
It's true.
I know more than a couple of women like you that are amazing actresses, but once Meryl Streep came along, it's that Hollywood, man. It's that Hollywood. They only make room for one person. And how was the casting couch? Did you have nothing? In the 80s, 90s, you didn't have a thing, did you?
No.
You never had a thing. You just
Never
went in
did.
with your talent. When did you decide you wanted to be an actress? I mean,
When I was 3.
3 years old.
Yeah.
And what? But
it
you
got
just woke
delayed.
up when you were 3. Could you? Oh yeah, well it got delayed. But I mean,
Yeah.
what did you see when you were 3 years old? You said to be an actress. 3. I
No,
believe that.
I started watching. I was just a big fan of TV and film, and I was just, as I do the orientation for the new members to SAG-AFTRA, and I always say, you have 3 hats that you wear. The first hat is your artist hat, because somewhere, sometime, you saw somebody do something on film or television, and you said, "Oh, I want to do that." Or if you're like me, you said, "Oh, I could do that so much better than she's doing that."
Yeah.
Whatever it was, and you got inspired. But that's the one you have to keep protected under. No longer a New England Patriots helmet. Yes, go Titans,
Yeah.
go 49ers. Go Chiefs. I don't care. Because it's called show
Business.
There you go.
Yeah.
So you have to wear a business hat.
Yeah,
and then you
you
also
certainly
are a
business,
union
yeah.
member, and you have to wear a union hat.
Wow.
So I just, I didn't realize when I started making my living in show business that I was lucky. I was like, you tend to never compare yourself to people who have less than you. You're always comparing yourself to people who have more. And I have some very close friends who are enormously successful in show business. And so it was that very, difficult not to feel less than and not a part of. I have a friend named Andy Kindler who's a stand-up comedian. And as Andy always says, I'm not really in show business, but I can see it from here. And that's kind of how I felt for 40 years is I make my living, but I'm not really of the show business thing. I don't go to the parties. I don't meet the people. I don't know people's names. I just show up for auditions. And for most of my career, I mean, I did 8 pilots in 9 years, and I thought that was normal. I'd probably done 15 pilots, probably 6 of which went to series, albeit briefly. And I just thought that's what people did. I didn't realize that was, it's kind of extraordinary to be a journeyman actor. And they always say in show business that, it's the land of many are called and few are chosen. And, your mother, father, sister, brother, husband, wife are going to tell you why it's not a good idea to go into show business. But the statistics, we have approximately 165,000 members in our union.
Wow.
And at any given time, about 10% are working. But you have to also remember that you could have gotten your card in 1965. Your last job was 1967. You live on your farm in Iowa. But as long as you keep paying your dues, you are a SAG-AFTRA member.
Right.
And it becomes a vanity card. So I don't think there's 165,000 people trying to get work.
Yeah.
I think it's, less than half of that. So
It's like $3,000 a
statistics
year,
aren't
isn't
quite
it?
as bad.
It's a lot of money to keep that card going each year.
No, $3,000 is your initiation fee. Then you pay dues, which are based on how much you earn.
Oh, so
Yeah.
you only have to pay
earn
$3,000 once?
Yeah.
Oh.
If you earn nothing, then your dues are only $100 twice a year.
Oh, I didn't realize. I thought you had to pay the $3,000 a year. Oh,
No,
okay.
that's what's called your initiation fee.
You would know. You're doing
I'm
the
seeing
whole.
myself, so I'm fixing my hair.
I know, isn't it
Okay, I'll
fabulous?
stop.
I mean, you tend to look at your own stuff. No,
Yeah.
it's too much. No, but how do you like the live stream though? It's pretty cool, man. There's like 3 people watching. We're doing better than last week. I had Jason Stewart last week, and it was nobody. So it's great. But people who watched it, and he spoke about how you gave him his first break on a play, like 1986.
Yeah, it was a very political play put on by a lot of people who worked at Cheers, and it was the No on 69, the horrible Lyndon LaRouche proposal. What do they call them here in California? What call those things that come on the election propositions? Yeah, propositions.
Yeah.
And so a play was written, and I was the director,
Wow,
and Jason was one of my actors.
it's amazing. Now, you're an amazing director from what I knew, like from what I seen in Wall, and then it just blows my mind because I'm thinking, do you have like a photographic memory? Because somebody reads their script and you remember every name and every character and what they should do, and I'm just trying to say something like a little witty to add to it, and like, how is it because you're so in love with it that you remember?
No, I have an amazing short-term memory, I think, to compensate for my complete lack of long-term memory.
No,
And
you really do.
I'm doing the play that I'm doing right now. It's 5 nuns, a bishop, and a young girl wanders into our midst. And the bishop is being played by Orson Bean, who's 91 years old.
Wow.
And Orson, as far as I can tell, hasn't lost a beat. And I said to his wife, Allie Mills, who's also in the play, I said, is this just good genes? And she says, it is good genes, but it's also, the crossword puzzles, but it's also memorizing lines.
Yeah.
He has spent a lifetime memorizing lines. So I've become very good at, I can read something once or twice and I can, it's a blessing.
You are very good at it.
Very good.
You really,
short-term
really are.
memory.
And it
But
really,
then don't ask me a week from now what it was.
well, you don't got to worry about it. But you actually make people feel like that you're super, super interested because you do know every nuance of the writing that everybody does.
Well,
So-
that's also being in a writers group for over 30 years.
Yeah.
I've had I'm very good at script analysis, and I know what's working and why it's not working, and this character needs to go and that one shouldn't be pregnant, and why don't you change the setting and don't put it in 1967, make it current. And you get a facility for that after over 30 years of doing something.
Yeah, you've mastered the craft. I mean, it's obvious that it's all about practice, and you mastered the craft. So are you planning on doing any directing in the future? Currently, what's going on? I mean, I'd love to see you direct some of your own
I've directed 5 plays, and I really
Wow.
like directing theater.
Mhm.
I don't know that I would want to do film or television. That's a big order. I just watched 1917, and I was so blown away by what Sam Mendes did. And there's so much, you watch all 8 seasons of Game of Thrones, and I'm at that place. I said to my brother, who's not in show business, is if you go see 1917, you'll be really impressed, but you won't know why. I know why.
Yeah,
I know why when I'm watching something, if it's good. I know if it's the writing, the direction, the lighting, the DP, blah, 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 blah. You start to get, I know when the actors are making it much better than it should be. I know when the actors aren't as good as the writing. You start to, and then there's movies that get all this heat that completely baffle me. Like I have no idea why.
Which one?
Marriage Story. I am
didn't-
clueless as to why people think that's a good movie.
Recently, it just came out. Yeah, Marriage Story.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oscar nominated for the actors, the writer,
Oh.
and best film, and I'm like,
Oh,
why?
that was the guy from Girls, the tall dude with the Adam Driver. Yeah.
Well, it's
Yeah.
one of the many things he's from, but yes.
Yeah. I mean, I love Adam Driver.
Yeah.
So,
Didn't do it for me.
I don't know if it was from Girls. I saw him. He was kind of rude. I saw him at the Governor's Awards, and he would not look up. I'm like, dude, if you don't look up, I'm standing like a foot, like 6 inches from you.
Well, some people
I
are really
know.
shy.
No, and his girlfriend was like, she was like, who's this crazy lady standing so close? But
You may want to talk about that with your therapist.
no, what about American Pie? Oh, therapist. Who needs therapy when you can stand right next to I don't need that. Forget it. I mean,
I wonder how she really feels. I can't quite tell.
it's too late for therapy. American Pie too. I
Yeah,
mean,
I
wow.
never saw it.
You were in it.
I know.
And you never saw it. I know.
No.
American Pie is an institution, man. American Pie. What an institution. I mean, you go from American Pie and then Cobra.
Yeah.
Wow, Cobra. I saw Schwarzenegger. It's not Schwarzenegger.
Have
Sylvester.
I got Cobra stories for you?
Please tell us something.
Oh,
Come on.
Lord.
No, yes.
It was a very interesting experience for 6 weeks in Lake Piru shooting Cobra. I'll tell you that.
Wow.
Very interesting.
Right. Well, what year was that? 1986. What was that? That was like
Something like
back in
that.
the
Yeah.
day when Bridget was still beautiful.
Yes.
Sylvester Stallone was.
They had just gotten married. No,
Yeah.
in fact, they got married while we were shooting it.
But you look fabulous, though. I mean, you looked. Yeah, you had that guy. I mean, you looked great. You looked
I
great,
had
Lee.
no makeup on. I was a bad guy. How did I
No,
look great?
I thought you looked great, and I remembered you from that movie too. I definitely remembered you from that movie.
I'm sorry.
I watched Golden Girls too.
Oh,
So I mean, come on, when you get to work with those ladies too, Betty White, you were Betty White's daughter.
I
She was
was.
Betty White's daughter.
We were all in the same lot. I was shooting, this was the Whit Thomas Harris family. We were shooting Lenny, which was a sitcom that we did for 4 months. And then the Golden Girls were there and Empty Nest. So it was a lot of fun.
Wow. And then your first feature was Psycho 2.
It was.
I didn't
my
even know there
first
was
job
your very first job
was
was
Psycho 2.
Wow. How the heck was, I mean.
Yeah, that was fun because I was doing a play, a lesbian play called A Late Snow.
A late
And
snow,
there
you late
were
bloomer.
5
No, late-
lesbians. And actually we went into rehearsal. We went for like 5 months. It was a cult hit. This was in 1981. And then we went into rehearsal for a play by the same playwright, Jane Chambers, called Last Summer at Bluefish Cove, which is where I met my friend Jean Smart, because she was playing the lead character.
Oh.
And that play ran for 22 months, including going equity up in San Francisco.
Wow.
So I was on stage for 27 months straight with those 2 plays, which is how my career started. Because back then there wasn't, 18 million, platforms on which to begin your career. You did theater, you did stand-up comedy. That was pretty much it. So I got very lucky. A casting director, Jackie Birch, who will forever be my Eskimo, who brought me in, and she stayed after the late snow. And she waited for me, and she came out and she said, "You're very good. Who represents you?" And I went, "No one." And she set me up with 5 agents, none of whom I think really cared particularly about representing me. But this is not a town of who you know. This is a town of who you know that likes you. So when a casting director calls an agent and says, "Will you see this actor for me?" Of course, Jackie Birch, I will see this actor, because then when I submit my actors for whatever project you're casting, you will remember that I did this for you, and you will call my actors in, and that's how show business works. So I actually got, somebody did sign me from that, and Jackie brought me into audition for Psycho 2, and I think she probably crammed me down the director's throat. And I worked I think it was 4 days. I made $1,600, which was just twice what I was making in a year at that point. And I went out and bought myself an $80 pair of purple boots that I still have. It was very exciting.
Yes.
And it was just like, I felt like I was high for 4 days. It was just like that joy of being on an actual real set and working with Anthony Perkins. And it was really cool because I thought he was just this sort of very, I don't know, familiar man when I worked with him in Psycho 2. Then they made Psycho 3 and he was directing it. And they brought me, my character's name was Myrna the Mean Waitress. So Myrna came back, and then it was like, I fell madly in love with Anthony Perkins. You know who he is? The Psycho. He was in the original Psycho movie. Anyway, he was kind of a famous actor. And it was so much fun because every day at lunch, we didn't agree on anything. Whatever movie he'd done that I thought he was spectacular in, he thought, "Are we allowed to share?
Yeah.
Can we swear?"
Yeah.
So whatever movie I thought
you-
he was wonderful in, he thought it was a piece of shit, and whatever. And we disagreed on everything from politics to film to good books. And every day he would sit down at the table and he'd go, Lee, come here. And he wanted me to sit next to him so we could argue all through lunch. It was a fabulous week working with him. I absolutely adored him.
Wow.
Yeah.
You're blowing my mind with all these names too. Anthony Perkins. I mean,
She doesn't know who he is.
she's kind of young.
All right.
She's young. She's
Fine.
young. Anthony
Look at my
Perkins.
Google. IMDb him. You'll see. Huh?
Is he Psycho?
No. Yes, he's the original Psycho.
Yeah.
With Jennifer Jason.
Yes, then I do,
No,
yeah.
not Jennifer Jason.
Yeah.
Janet Leigh. And
Janet Leigh. Yeah.
who's the other one? The dark-haired one. I'm already forgetting. Oh, that's embarrassing.
Oh, so what? Any questions, Julia? You got any questions for Lee? We have Julia. Come and stand over here and say, come and wave and say, come on and wave and say, come on and
Where are you
wave.
from, Julia?
Germany.
Oh, okay.
She's in the program too. She's in the master's program. For
Oh,
directing. Yeah.
fantastic.
This is Julia Siedenburg. Hi, honey. You got any questions for Lee? Anything in particular?
Oh my God.
Look
Oh yeah.
This way.
I know it's weird. I have to shout it here. I wanted to ask you if you see a big difference between female and male directors.
Well, no, I don't have a preference, although I'm always happy when I see women working in any capacity, behind the camera, in front of the camera, writing, directing, DPs, the script supervisor, anything. I'm thrilled. The costumer, sound. My boom operator's a woman. That's like the coolest thing. But my experience, I have done like 300 jobs if you count every episode of every series, everything I've done. I've done a lot of film and television. I used to average 10 to 12 to 14 theatrical jobs every month. Every year. I wish every month.
Yeah.
And my experience now is that I would say 50% of what I do now, and it's slowed down considerably, but 50% of what I do now is with a first-time director.
Wow.
There's just so many, because there's such a plethora of filmmaking taking place. There's more platforms than there is good content. And I have my philosophy on first-time directors is they fall into one of three categories. They're good or they're going to be good. They're terrified that somebody is going to usurp their power, so they micromanage everything and make the entire cast and crew insane. Or they're terrified and they let the DP or the producer or the first AD take over, and they don't really do anything. So and sometimes there's a little mix between those three groups. Basically, most of the directors fall into one of those three categories. And I did a film called, oh good Lord, Sick It, with Jeff Bridges. And I'm so embarrassed I can't think of her name. But she was a first-time director.
Wow.
I think she wrote the script also, and she was magnificent. Wow. I just watched her handle the stars and the energy and the gymnasts, because there were professional gymnasts there, as well as the actors who were being the gymnasts and the stunt supervisor and the stuntmen and women. And it was just like, okay, you are freaking awesome. And I don't know if I've actually seen her since, but I remember thinking, this is your milieu. You are really good at this. And then there are other people, like sometimes they'll bring in a director who did some big music video thing, and he comes in to direct a feature film, and you're like, okay, everybody on this set knows more than you do. Yeah. And you're not allowing any of us to do our work because you're trying to be in charge of everything. So it's interesting. It's very interesting. But I am always thrilled. I'm very sad that, I feel like Oscar's so white and Oscar's so male. It's about to lose its relevance to most people.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't represent the movies that most people are seeing. And I wish they would change the Academy members so that they look more like America, the people who were selecting the films and the directors and the actors. When you have 20 actors nominated and 2 of them are persons of color, that's embarrassing.
It's embarrassing.
It's just embarrassing for the country.
One woman won Best Director since the Academy started. It was for a war film.
What is that?
Oh, God. Bigelow.
Catherine Bigelow.
Catherine Bigelow.
Catherine Bigelow. And you have Ava DuVernay. You have all these wonderful women.
Amazing.
And right now, with all due respect to film, which I love more than life itself, the cutting edge great stuff is on television.
TV.
Whether you hate it or love it, Netflix and Amazon and Hulu and all those different platforms are giving people the opportunity to create content like I've never seen in my life. It's a renaissance. It's my husband and I have more TV shows to watch than we have time. Because it's just magnificent.
It's magnificent. I mean, Succession.
Yeah, but even on primetime television, This Is Us.
Oh,
amazing show.
Amazing.
The Resident, The Good Doctor. Modern Family. Grey's Anatomy. I still watch Grey's
I
Anatomy.
know,
I
I
love
was
How to
gonna-
Get Away with Murder.
Yeah.
So there's so much good entertainment going on, and I look back on I have a friend who's binge watching stuff from the 60s and 50s, and I'm like, why?
Yeah.
Because
Yes, who has time
the
to watch?
craftspersonship
Oh,
and the mastery and everything that went on then is nothing
Who needs to
compared to
watch?
what they're not listening to a word I'm saying.
I know. I'm worried about it. No, I'm listening to everything you say.
No, you weren't. You were talking the whole time. I was just
No, I'm so sorry. That's me. I'm lucky I could shut up for 2 seconds. Please forgive me. I'm not an interviewer.
It's fine.
I
You're
tick.
doing great. Don't worry. Okay, I'm gonna. Go
I
back to
don't
the
know about
microphone.
great. You're doing okay.
No, I'm not an interviewer. No, Lee, I listen to every word you say. I mean,
All right.
I really, I mean, we were talking about TV, weren't we, or something like that?
Yeah, or something like that.
I listen to every
She
word
was-
you say.
No, you were talking about
the 50s and 60s not having.
Yeah, I just don't mind quality filmmaking from past. I mean, there are exceptions, of course. There's
No.
somebody like Giant or Dr. Zhivago, or I mean, there are many films you can look at. They're beautiful, and and there's films like the other day. I mean, now it's like old, but Thelma and Louise came on TV over the holidays, and I remember I was cooking in the kitchen. I just kept it on, and I kept looking back at it. Or a movie like Tootsie, and it's like it holds up. And then there's movies that you see like, what was that movie that was so cutting edge at the time with John Voight and Dustin Hoffman?
Oh, something cowboy?
Cowboy, yeah, Cowboy.
Oh my God.
Urban Cowboy.
Urban Cowboy.
Was that it? Or was
Yeah,
that
I
the one
saw
with
that.
Deborah Winger?
No. It's
Midnight Cowboy.
Midnight Cowboy. You're right.
Midnight Cowboy. And that was one of those movies, I never saw it at the time it came out. I saw it 20 years later, and I'm like, this is a piece of shit. Why did people think? And I thought
The set was easy.
Well, I think it was because it was about a gay character. We
Yeah.
didn't have gay characters back then. Now it's like
Yeah.
Hallmark card. Or
Yeah.
just sort of not really well done.
Yeah,
So.
yeah. Who cares? Is there any film that you like to remake? If you could remake something, I mean, all they do is remake films. Is there a film that from the days that you would like to actually
That I was in, or just that I've ever
no
seen?
that you would ever see that you would like to see
Oh,
remade? Any remakes?
Probably not.
Yeah,
No,
nothing.
I'm big on it just keeps getting better and better in my opinion. I mean, I'm not so much the Marvel superhero cartoony that
Yeah.
it's okay. Like my girlfriend Jean Smart was just in the TV show Watchmen, and my husband and I
wow.
had tried to watch her in Legion, and after like the first season, I said, "Honey, I love you. I don't understand what's going on." And she said, "Me neither." And I went, "Okay." But she said, "You got to watch Watchmen." So and I said, it's a superhero thing. She goes, "Yeah, but it's not just that." And sure enough, I'm not sure I understood everything about that, but that was one of the most riveting, amazing series I've ever seen.
Oh, I have to watch it then.
It's
I keep
profound.
passing it by.
It's with Regina King and Jean Smart and Lou Gossett Jr. and the beautiful Vietnamese actress who was in Downsizing.
Oh yes.
And I mean, it's a phenomenal. It's so, and Jeremy Irons,
Wow.
and it is so intriguing and deep and curious and weird and profound. I
I'll watch it.
so that's the kind of thing. It's like I don't understand everything exactly. It's a little superhero-y, but I like the storytelling. The storytelling was amazing.
Oh yeah, like Westworld. I don't understand, but I love
Exactly.
it. Who understood Westworld? But I love
one of
everything.
our members in Wall, a writers and actors lab, Eddie Rouse was in Westworld.
Wow,
And
stop
he
it.
died after the first season.
Oh,
Yeah.
right. I remember you guys.
They
You paid homage to the
dedicated
Christmas
the
party,
show.
right?
Yeah. Yeah. I loved Westworld. Westworld's another one.
Westworld's
So,
like, wow, what the heck is this?
and, when you have Anthony Hopkins and Jeffrey Wright and Evan Rachel Wood and all, I mean, I'm sure I'm blanking on half the actors.
Yeah.
Oh, what's her face? The beautiful,
The blonde.
the light-skinned African-American woman
Oh my
who's
God,
in
I'm so
everything
bad.
now. And she's phenomenal in it. So
I'm gonna have to get somebody on the side to Google things because I'll just go on. Next time I have to bring a Googler because I just
Google it. Find out on the Google.
have to
what
find
it
out on
is.
the Google what her name is because. So Lee, you rock. I
That's it,
absolutely
you're
love
done
you.
with me?
No, I mean I could talk more. I'm
No,
talking to go on and on
Tandy
and on.
Nunez, but no, here.
No, I'm not done.
I'm gonna look down.
What?
gonna look up because
No way.
she's in the
Oh, the Tessa.
Yes.
Tessa Thompson.
yes, Tessa Thompson. That's what I was
Yeah.
trying to think of. Yeah, she's
I mean,
amazing.
incredible. She's
Tandy
just like-
Newton also. Oh my God. Do you know Crash? The movie
Oh
Crash.
yeah, I love
Yeah.
Crash.
That is one of the
I love the
few
flashbacks.
stellar
Mm.
stars-driven movies that actually worked. Everybody's a star, but usually those ones are kind of not that good.
Like The Irishman.
But he wrote that in 2 weeks
Wow,
or something like
that's
that.
crazy.
The
2 weeks.
entire film was written in 2 weeks.
Wow.
The Irishman, the longest movie.
I didn't like it.
Years.
Did you like it?
I didn't hate it,
Yeah.
but I just was like, haven't we seen this
Like
already?
9
And-
million times, and it was like
5
each
other
guy you
iterations.
couldn't even get their character because you were
Although
Joe
I thought
Pesci.
Joe Pesci was wonderful.
Yeah.
I really
I couldn't get past the
I
first
liked
half
what he
hour
was doing. Oh, because it was.
because it was just. I could just
Well, Martin Scorsese, that's what he does, right?
Yeah.
He's singing movies.
he's
Yeah.
a documentarian who does narratives instead of documentaries.
Interesting.
He makes. Don't you think? Did you like that? That was the smartest thing I've ever said. No.
We were here.
And they were here for
So
it.
does this mean we have 4 people now?
Yeah, we have
Did they
Kevin
ask
Garn.
questions? or-
No, they didn't ask questions.
Oh.
Hey, anybody got a question? Hey, anybody? Yeah, she has. I mean, we got to have a question for
I
Lee.
went to Gloria. Oh my God, have I lost my mind? Gloria, no. Gloria,
Gloria.
Oh
It's
my
not the song.
God.
Don't ask me. I just Googled the last name.
the
I
famous,
told you next week I'll have
the
a Googler.
famous feminist from the 60s.
Oh, Gloria Steinem.
Gloria
Steinem.
Steinem was being interviewed by Melissa McCarthy, and I went to. It was a event, and I went to it, and I remember Melissa sitting there going, "God, I have 49 years worth of questions for you," and Gloria Steinem going, "I got 80 years worth of answers for you."
And now she's married, a regular woman. I'm like, oh my God, back in the day, they were like, oh, now all she wants to do is be married, happy,
80.
peaceful. I know.
She wants to be married. She said
She
that?
got married like a couple of years ago. She got married like
Never too late.
no.
Yeah.
And that's the whole point is you fight for your thing, but at the end of the day, it's still all about love. So that was another deep. That was another
profound
deep. It's not about me, it's
truth.
about Lee, but it was something deep. Lee, I love you all. I cannot tell you how priceless it is that I found you guys. It has just turned my LA experience just completely, I don't miss a Monday.
Somebody else.
I know,
joined
yay, they
us.
did. Who's your favorite people to work with?
Favorite people? Like
Person. It's Joe. Hi, Joe. Joe Bonafetta. Who's your favorite people to work with? Person to work with? Person
you
or
mean
people?
like ever of a specific individual or just people in general?
Probably person.
And
Well-
then somebody else. Go ahead.
Well, my number one that I'm grateful to is Phil Alden Robinson for putting me in 5 films. But actors that I've worked with, I have to say, in my experience, I think I've had 3 experiences on sets that were unpleasant.
Wow.
And 99% of the time, number 1 on the call sheet, the bigger they are, the nicer they seem to be, in my experience. Somebody who's, sometimes the people going down or still going up can be a little challenging.
Can you take
But-
that?
But in my experience, most of the time, by and large, I've been on very few sets where I felt uncomfortable or unsafe or people were anything less than professional.
They're hanging out in Chateau Marmont, right? If they're going up or down.
But actors Morgan Freeman, my boyfriend, I absolutely adored working with him. I worked with Will and Jada Smith for 2 weeks. They were producing, they were not in it. And they, I didn't want to become friends with them. I wanted to become molecularly absorbed into their bodies. I just wanted to, being John Malkovich, I just wanted to be part of them.
Wow.
I loved, the Robert Redford was pretty cool. I loved Robin Williams. I worked with Robin twice. He was a lot of fun. The experience I just had with Denzel was fabulous.
Wow. Epic.
I work with my friend Jean Smart. I've worked with her a couple of times. I love working with Jean. Trying to think of my famous actresses.
Wow. Oh my God, you've worked with so many.
I work with a lot of people. Yeah.
So many people. Kevin Gardner, what do you have coming up for plays? Any more plays?
You know, I just got asked by the same theater to do
Ruskin.
Guess Who's Coming to Dinner. And I think if I take this, my husband will shoot me.
I'll take
Because we
it.
didn't go on one trip last year because I did 3 plays. I've been in a play for 13 months.
Yeah.
I sort of think I might need to take just a wee bit of a break.
Oh, man.
Because it's a lot. It's a lot. I love the plays. I'm not such a big fan of the rehearsals. I get very tired of rehearsal.
How many days a week does it play?
5.
5 days.
Oh, how many rehearsal?
Not the rehearsal. How
No,
many?
3.
Three.
Only
3
do
days
it.
a week.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday, yeah.
And then 5 days
Death
a
of
week
a
for the
Salesman
rehearsal?
we were doing for, yeah, the rehearsals are 5 days, like 30 hours a week.
Yeah, wow.
And that's like,
Yeah, by then you're ready to.
wait, are there any more?
Yeah,
questions?
yeah. Give us the dirt. Who was the worst actor to work with? You asked. And we have, thanks everybody for watching. We have some more people came on watching
the hardest person for me personally to work with was an actor who is deceased. So it feels weird to talk about him. But let me say this about him. Talking with other people post-mortem, I am not alone in how difficult he was to work with. And it's primarily women that he was hard, that he was really hard on. That was my single most difficult. Yeah, he was the tough one.
More than once? Did you work with him more than once?
No. But of all the people I worked with, he was the hardest. I can tell you some of the loveliest, but yeah.
And what was
I'm
the
not
title
gonna-
of the film with the guy you can't say?
Yeah, I'm not going to tell you that.
I'm only messing with you.
That's not going to happen.
So who's no, I would not want you to do that. Sure. I mean, I'd love to hear who was the loveliest. I mean, I think Joe.
Well, I remember back in the day, in my heyday, I worked with 2 of the nicest men in show business who were John Ritter and Michael J. Fox.
Wow.
I did a recurring character on a series with John Ritter called Hooperman. And they just, again, it's that thing of like, the bigger they are. Meredith Baxter, she was at that time Meredith Baxter Burney. I remember I was doing an episode of, what was it called? Family Ties. Family Ties. Ellen Latson, who was the little girl from Fatal Attraction. That little cute little girl in Fatal Attraction with Glenn
of course.
Close.
Wow.
When she was playing my daughter, and there were a whole bunch of kids on the show, and I was playing, and Meredith would go up to each of the kids, and she'd look down at them and go, "It's just show business. It's not brain surgery. It's okay if you make a mistake. We're just having a good time here.
Oh, that's
It's
wonderful.
just a job." And it was like, oh, okay, cool. She was giving the kids perspective.
Wow.
Barbara Hershey, I did a movie with Barbara Hershey where it was called A Killing in a Small Town. And which is every small town in America, by the way. And I played the murder victim. But I come in the room with an axe. I'm spoiler alert.
Yeah.
And we had this for 3 days, 2 days, 2 days. We shot a scene in a laundry room that was about the size of a card table.
Wow.
And in the laundry room are me, Barbara, the director, the sound guy, and that might have been it. And, we were kind of having to dance around each other because it was so tiny. And we had a real axe. We had a plastic axe. We had a rubber axe, or, there were 3 different kinds of axes for different parts where we're struggling for control of this axe. And even though you intellectually know that it's not a real axe and you're not going to hurt anybody, your body doesn't know that. And we were playing these repressed Southern Baptist-y type characters everything was shut down. So Barbara and I did this scene for 2 days. And it got to the point that with the fake blood, we would literally just have our 4 hands and we would lean against the wall in between takes because it hurt too much to peel your hands off because that blood is so sticky. So after a while, we would just lean against the walls and go, "What did you have for dinner last night?" "Yeah, okay." And then we'd go back up and do our scene because it was and I'll tell you, it was 2 days. I think I ate 10,000 calories a day and I lost weight because it was this thing of having to, pump to get the reality going of who these people are, then cover, because they kept everything repressed, even while they're killing each other. Wow. And then fizzle in between takes, and then pump. It was exhausting.
Wow.
And even though intellectually, I'm not going to really hurt Barbara with the axe, your body doesn't know that. So it was just like this.
Wow.
And she won the Emmy for that year.
Wow.
And I said if she won the Emmy, she had to say my name from the stage, and she,
And she
did.
did.
It was very fun.
Of course she did. Oh, how
Yes.
amazing. Well, you were nominated for an Emmy in 2018. Fantastic.
It was fun.
Yeah. I actually watched, I just watched it the other day. I went through it. I thought you play psychiatrist.
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
And then the one that I really loved, which is called Before We Go, that I produced and starred in last year, which didn't get nominated because the big studios figured out about our little tiny category called, the web series, and they took over. Not one person or show was nominated that wasn't attached to a studio, which was sad for all
Those
those little.
sons of
They should have a
bitches.
category. Television Academy, you should have a category for projects under $50,000. That's all
yeah.
I'm saying. For us little people.
Yeah.
But
I'm
it
going to
was
put
called-
you on for the Emmy nomination for this series, for this.
Oh.
Yeah.
But it was called Before We Go, written and directed by the delightful
Wow.
Renee Ashton. And it's a wonderful 6 episodes. You can see it various places. Just look up Before We Go. And we've only shot a third of it. We need to shoot 2/3 more. Before We Go. And I wear a gray wig.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Oh, that was the one that you played the mother of somebody?
Grandmother.
Oh, I saw those. It was hysterical.
That's more like the reaction I was hoping for.
Oh, I watched them. No, it was so funny. You were so funny with the young kid, with the
Yeah.
Oh my God, were you on a boat? Did you go on a boat?
We were on a boat.
I
we were in
watched
an
it. It was
RV, we were everywhere.
hysterical.
Yeah.
It was just, I was trying, I didn't want to be.
Before We Go. There you go.
Before we go.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Lee, I just love you. Let me see. I could just ask you.
Wait, are there any more? Any more questions?
What about you? I want to ask you, your method. You got any method? What's your method for acting, Lee? Do you have a
Whatever
specific
works.
method? Yeah, you like that, right? There's no any type of you just dig in and just.
Well, this theater where I'm doing my third play is very Meisner technique, which
Meisner,
is
yeah.
fine, but it's not. I mean,
Isn't that where you become the character?
I
It's
don't know.
Meisner? I think Meisner's actually where you
There's the
become person.
method. There's Meisner. There's
Oh.
all. I did go to acting school. I went to UCLA, but I'm kind of the
Oh,
philosophy.
you actually went to acting school?
I
Yeah.
did
Wow.
for a year and a half.
Wow. It was
Yeah.
a good program, UCLA?
It's wonderful.
Yeah.
Of course, it's back in the 80s. But
Wow.
yeah.
But
I
you
went
were
as a 29-year-old freshman.
Oh wow. But you were already working before you went to school, right?
Sort of.
Yeah,
I
you
mean, I
were-
think I'd done psycho too. I mean, it wasn't like
Yeah.
making my living.
Yeah, but still, you already got psycho.
I'd done a couple things, yeah.
Oh wow.
But yeah.
Wow. Well, Lee, thank you so much.
Tina. Wait, are there any more though?
No.
Come on,
It
I've got more.
says
One
give
more
us the
question.
dirt. It says anybody love the show. Of course, everybody. What do you want? What do you have coming
go
up?
down here, go
Oh
down
wait.
here.
Oh shit. We got to go down further.
Sarah asked if you're doing another movie.
You doing any more movies?
Oh.
Sarah's my mother.
Is it really?
Yeah, Sarah Ogden.
Hi, Sarah.
Yeah.
No,
Slave on.
I have nothing lined up.
Yeah, it
I
doesn't
don't know
matter.
Whatever's next.
Same agent. You got the same agent from the very beginning?
I've been with the same agent since the Holy Family was wandering around Israel.
Since 81, you got the same agent, huh? Wow.
Yep.
So then how long, like tomorrow you could just get the role in your life again. Although every role you've absolutely loved. Yeah.
I'm not holding my breath on that.
Wow. It becomes a little different when you're a woman.
Something else
Oh,
came in.
She's hi. She's saying hi. Hi,
Oh.
Sarah. Stop it, Sarah. We pretend that she's Sarah Ogden, so she's like one of my fans, but she's my mother. She's actually my biggest fan.
Nice.
She's from Teaneck. Ma, she was born in Teaneck, New Jersey.
I was.
Teaneck.
Was your mom born there?
She's Bayonne. We're from Bayonne, New Jersey.
Oh, okay.
Actually, yeah. We're from
I left when I was 3. I don't really remember New Jersey so much.
yeah, it's nothing to remember. The only thing to remember about New Jersey is New York. It's Manhattan. Do any a lot of work? Any plays in New York or anything? Theater?
I never have. No.
Yeah, it's a whole different ball game.
Yeah.
Oh, Peggy Freeman. Hi. No, not thumbs up, Peggy. Question. You have a question for Lee? I can't illustrate that. What do you want me to do with the thumb? You want me to do with the thumb? You got to ask a question.
Okay.
All right.
You're very Jersey right now.
Me?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm always Jersey. I get in a lot of trouble for it, but that's all right. Lee. So,
She's been trying to say goodbye to me. For
no, I
10
don't want to
minutes
say
now.
goodbye, but I want other people to say good questions. I mean, I could talk, talk to you forever.
Well,
Talk
just
to you
then
forever.
ask. You've hardly asked me anything.
What are you talking about? I mean, Psycho 2, look what I have on my notes, Bad Habits, all the plays, best and worst experience on set, that was her question. Favorite
I know
person,
one.
worst person, please, please.
Is your husband, is he in the street?
Yes, my husband, he's retired now, but he was a stagehand for 42 years.
Did you guys meet on set?
No. And his last 15 years, he was the head electric at the Pantages Theater, which was really
Oh, it's
cool.
right.
Oh,
Because I
yeah.
got to go to everything.
Right.
That was fun.
That's right over on, right here on Hollywood and Vine, the Pantages.
Hollywood and Argyle, yeah.
So you just walked in there and just did your,
Yeah. I was like my home away from home.
I know, I love that.
My husband like, well, do you want me to come to the door and let you in? And I'm like, I don't need to be let in. They know me. I just come in. It was a lot of fun. That was a great 15 years. I love that.
So he's retired.
He is. He's retired.
And then you guys are gonna, this is your thing is to travel, and then now you're not letting him travel because you were supposed to retire and travel.
Well, he
and
also
now you're-
had 3 surgeries this last year, 2 feet, 1 knee. So it was kind of a combination of I'm doing theater and he's not able. We like to walk a lot. I walk about 30 miles a week. So when we travel, that's our big thing is to get off and just go walk.
Right.
So we couldn't do that this year, but we're doing it last year, but we're doing it this year.
Where are you going?
We're going to Hawaii.
I love
We're
Hawaii.
going to go on a cruise in the Baltic.
Oh, wow.
We're going to
What the heck is the
Yosemite.
Baltic?
It's an ocean over in Europe. It's where all the Scandinavian capitals connect.
Hi, Kevin. Have you ever keep an interesting piece of wardrobe? Did you steal any wardrobe from any of the films?
No, I've never stole. Does Kevin know? Kevin might be talking about something I've told him, but I don't remember.
Oh, is this like
but I
between
don't
you
know.
two? Is this
No,
privacy?
no. I've never stolen anything. I have been given stuff though. It's really nice because sometimes if you're doing a scene where there might be weather or something, you might get damaged. They will oftentimes buy doubles of it.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I've gotten a couple times. They've given me some really nice stuff. From Cobra, I got to keep my black raincoat. That was really cool.
Oh, my God.
It lasted
from
for
Cobra.
years and then it went away.
Did you hear that, Kevin? Kevin's going to come on, right?
Is he?
Kevin? Oh, yeah.
Awesome.
Not next week. I have a woman that plays guitar with her teeth. It's a woman who plays a guitar with her teeth follows you up.
Wait.
Look at her face.
What? Does
Her
she
name's
not,
Betty Nava. She's actually traveled all over the world.
does she not have hands?
She has hands. I kind of
She
think the
just
same thing.
chooses.
She plays. She plays with her teeth. She chooses. It's a big thing in the rock world. I don't know. It is. It's a big thing in the rock world.
Okay. How do you see the person's face?
You don't. I thought it was really weird. I mean, you don't. And then it's just like, and I'm thinking, wow, she must really like it. Love this stuff to get there and get that thing. How do you? She must be pretty good. I don't want to take it over to the other edge, but she must be pretty good in that. In the sackaroonie, she's got moves. You know what I mean? Look at your face. You know what I mean? Like she could tie a cherry.
And now I won't be able to get that out of my head.
I mean, what are you gonna do? All right, so
Again, she's trying to say goodbye.
you have any questions?
There's a lot of deja vu going on here. Deja vu all over again.
I mean, we could continue to talk about anything you want to talk about. I mean, has a lot of people gotten successful from the wall? Have you seen somebody has anybody got a major career,
Well,
through the wall and,
through the wall.
it's called
well,
wall,
we-
right? Isn't it called wall?
Yes, the Writers and Actors Lab.
Yeah, right, isn't it?
Well, when some of the original people it started with who
Yeah.
are no longer in the group, but like Jim Wools, who wrote the Fight Club, and
Oh, wow.
Blake Heron, who wrote The Bourne Identity, and Meredith Steen, who created Cold Case.
Wow.
So yeah.
And you guys were friends? You were just hanging out and you were like, let's just start this group?
Mhm.
I mean, thank you so much for giving back like that. I mean, you
Yeah.
guys are so accessible. It's just like this group where like 20, 30 people come in and just each week and you do 2 or 3 scripts and then we act out the scripts. Three. And it's just like
3 scenes.
3 scenes. And so you guys just make it so nice for people that are just trying to get involved and to be in the field. And I mean, there's some tremendous actors in that group alone. It just like blows my mind. It just blows my mind on how good everybody is.
I'm going to say something to people who may
Yeah.
be starting out.
Yeah.
I do want to say, I've been doing this for a long time, and one of the big, we all know this is the land of many are called and few are chosen. We talked about that. But I do want to say also that one of the gifts of having a career in show business is you really get to define and redefine and define again what success is. And I think a lot of people go into show business maybe because they're not the happiest, most well-adjusted people in the world, and they're trying to fill a hole. And there's a lot of need, there's a lot of addiction, there's a lot of issues that can happen because the numbers and the money can get a little ridiculous. And part of me wishes that there weren't so much money in show business and it was really about the craft and the art, because I think less people would be attracted to it. But I do want to say that one of the biggest gifts I have felt is this, the chance to really truly grok, to understand and appreciate the fact that I have gotten to have this enormously successful life, even though it wasn't the, quote unquote, successful career that I had dreamed of, the Meryl Streep career. And you see those people, the Halle Berrys or the, somebody who comes in 1 job, 2 jobs, they're a star, the Julia Roberts kind of careers. But that's not real for 99.99% of us.
Yeah.
And it is, it does become a last person standing business. And it, if you make the decision, you're going to travel the road of happy destiny here in show business, you got to remember that it's a marathon. It's not a sprint. And, you got to suit up and show up no matter what. And the people who scare me, in my experience, it's mostly men. Like you're at a party and you meet somebody, you go, well, what do you do? And they go, I'm an actor. At which point I sort of slowly back out of the room. And the people I like are the people who, don't stop your life because you're an actor. Get married, have kids, buy a home, travel, go on adventures, get a B job, learn a language, do all the life things. Because when I go into audition for a part, I'm not only bringing, 40 years of skill and technique and experience, I'm also bringing the fact that I'm a wife and I'm a mother and I paint and I write and I create and I cook and I garden and I have friends and, I'm sober a long time. And I bring all of my life experiences so that when they, you're not hired just on your ability. Most of the time, you're also hired on your zeitgeist and your energy and being maybe the right flavor du jour, but also your essence, and if you stop having an essence because you're trying to have a career, you're kind of, I think, missing the point. And I think this is a wonderful business to be in, and the rewards are enormous if you become like me and you become a working actor and you make a living. I have a marvelous health plan and pension plan and lifestyle and, a home and a vacation home. And I've gotten all these gifts from show business, but I also think you have to give back, and that's a big part of what I do. I serve on 4 committees in my union.
Wow.
And I do the orientation for new members, and I read to kids 2 days a week. I read to 5 classes, and you have to stay in shape as an actor
2 days
too.
a week. Wow.
People are so busy branding and social media-ing and doing all that stuff that you got to act, do play readings, go to a writer's group like we do, where we do scenes every week, do theater, do the stuff that keeps the craft alive in you, because you're not just an artisan, you're an artist. You're not just a business person, you're a craft person. And, my husband has always pointed out to me for the last, when people ask me what I do, I always say I make my living as an actor. And it's, it removes the second question. Yeah, but what do you do for money? If you're able to say I make my living.
Right.
But it's also, it's
Wow.
what I do. It's not who I am. I am an actor, but I'm also a lot of other things. I'm a writer, I'm a mother, I'm a person who loves to read good books. So it's that thing of keeping every aspect of yourself alive and well, because I think in life, as in acting, you have to be well-rounded.
Wow. Wow, that's fantastic.
I am deeper than Dina. My deep was way deeper than
Well,
her
you know,
deep.
I'm sober for a long time too, Lee. No,
I did not know that.
Yeah.
No?
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
No, I love that. She is deeper than me though, too. I'm so 18 years. I got 18 years in April.
32.
Wow. You see that? I didn't even know.
32 years,
I heard
yeah.
you say a couple of lines, like a day at a time or something. I'm like, I wonder if she's in.
All right, but we're not going to say anything that we're not supposed to say.
No.
Okay.
No. Oh, so look at
Yeah.
me. I'm like, oh, no. I just, you said it first, so I just figured out.
Well, you know, I'm talking about being sober. That's what I'm talking about. Not anything else.
No, what did I, no.
No, I know.
She's so funny.
All right. Well,
No,
I said my bit.
No. Thank you, Lee. Julie's got a class at 5:30. There's a class that comes in here. We're in
Wow.
Mount St. Mary's school. So I actually have to cut off the sound in like 5 minutes so she can get down to her class.
There you go.
So Lee,
We make it over an hour.
I made it over an hour. I thought it was only going to be like 30 minutes, and here we are. She made it an hour show for me,
Amazing.
and I could say.
Wait, did any other questions come in though? Before
And
we go?
absolutely-
5 more minutes.
Words of wisdom. We got words of wisdom. You got any word? She just gave the words of wisdom. Do you have more words of wisdom?
How did
Shut
we
up,
know?
Dina. We're talking about an anonymous program. That's the words. I don't go to the program now, so I don't even know what the heck she's talking about.
Okay, good.
Yeah, no, she said she. So, yeah, I mean, so you're gonna keep plugging in. You're not uptight about are you gonna get any if you're gonna get a work. If you're not gonna get work, you can
No.
travel. You're confident with your craft, and you're confident with you're giving back, and you're doing all these things for me and the rest of the community. In there's like this guy. There's like I've met like 50 people in the past year that rolls in and out of that group, and I know we all follow around. We all follow around you like ducks because I mean they do so. Everybody's like this. And let me tell you something. When you get up there and do the scene, you're the funniest one of every. I mean, I wanted to ask you one more question. Have you done live stand up?
I have a couple times.
Yeah, because you're funny, Lee.
Yeah, it's too much work.
It's a lot. Why? Because you have the right. Did you
You
go
have
to the?
You have
to
to
the
go out at night.
Oh yeah, you got to do the creeping thing. It ain't easy.
I
to
want
go.
to be at home with my husband watching TV. I'm sorry, I just do. But no, I've been invited to a few. I've moderated a few, emceed, and said, "Please come up with 10 minutes of material." So
Because you're funny.
I've done that a few times.
When
But
you
not
said,
stand-up.
I can't tell you the one line, there's many lines, but when you said about the play that you're in right now, it's all last week. She goes, if you haven't seen my play, it's all sold out and bleep. And I swear to God, I peed my pants for 2 days. Like,
She's easy.
no, super funny. Super funny. All right, gang. Anybody have any more questions for Lee? Lee, I just love you.
Bye, Mom.
I mean, bye, Sarah. Bye, Joy. I mean, we didn't have poor Jason Stewart. We had nobody. This week we have a thumbs up and we have 6 people.
There you go.
And then
nice.
I'll put it on YouTube. I'll tag you, Lee, and then people can check in and say hi and
Okay.
if they have any questions or anything.
All right.
All right. So hug me, darling.
Hug you.
Oh, Lee, thank you so much. You
See,
rock.
she's an actress. She got her head in front.
I know this way. That's what I said. The way, over the shoulder. All right. I just love you. All right. Bye bye.
Love you back. Bye.
Bang. Oh my God.
That was good?
Lee. Are you kidding?
We're off, right?